minute and I'll share my Photoshop screen. We are going deeper. So what our advice is that as we are going deeper, we are going to learn a lot about um on on the tools, what to do and what not to do. So today we are going to learn about the color theory, how to insert images, image and shape manipulation, and then we are going to do a flyer design project. Okay, so now I'm about to share my screen. Okay, still the Photoshop is loading. So let's wait for. Okay, so just a minute, and then the Photoshop will launch. So before I start, I would like to ask how many of you understand the concept of color? I'm sure by this time most of you understand the concept of color. So just a minute, let me mute someone. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, let me mute everybody. Okay, okay, all right, sure. Thank you very much. Let me just mute everybody so that at some point I'll just turn on the audio. Okay, so great. Wow. Okay, so I'm about to share my screen. So window, and then I share my Photoshop screen. So I'm going to share only my Photoshop screen. Okay, so this is Photoshop. So I'm going to create a new document, create, and then I use my normal custom shape. I go to the width, I set the width to 10, I set the dimensions to inches, I set the height to 10, and then I set the orientation to portrait form, and then I make sure that my resolution is 300 depending on the work I'm doing, like we learned yesterday. Okay, so what is color? I'd like to ask you guys first, what is color? Okay, so let me just unmute you guys. So what somebody should just explain a basic meaning about color in the next 30 seconds. Yes, you can speak. Okay, so basically anything we see in this life, in this on this earth, anywhere we go, consists of color. We have primary colors, we have secondary colors, which I'll not really dive much into it. Okay, so what I'm going to teach you guys today is how to manipulate colors, how to use colors as background, and how to manipulate colors, how to make. So we have something we call solid color, we have gradient color. So I'm going to teach you guys all that today. So when you come to Photoshop, like we already know the tools. This is the move tool, this is the quick rectangular marquee to the lasso to the quick selection to the crop to and all that we have. So what I'm going to teach is that you guys should understand in Photoshop we have the foreground color tool, which is over here where my mouse is. If you can see my mouse, please kindly react to the meeting. Okay, great. I can see your reaction. All right. So, so this place, it when you hover the mouse over it, it will tell you that okay. So set foreground color. What it means is that anything you are going to do in Photoshop, anything you are going to do in Photoshop. Just a minute. Let me just log in my other account. Okay. So anything that you do in Photoshop has needs to deal with color. So for instance, when I click on this, when I click on the foreground color, it gives me a color picker. I don't know if you can see the color picker. Uh, Wow, amazing. Please, can you see the color picker? Okay, you can't see the color picker. But I am on the color picker. I'm coming. Just a minute. I think I need to share the whole window because the picker has changed over here. So let me just share the whole window. Okay. So window, and then let me share my entire screen. And I click and then I share. Okay, so that I can be able to see the color picker. Thank you. Okay, so when I click on the color picker, currently the color picker is red. So when I click on the color picker, it gives me what? A color picker, which is the foreground color. So depending on what I want to work with, you realize that I can just maneuver over the color picker and panel to be able to select a color. So for instance, when I come to the blue section of it, I can choose blue as my foreground color. So I can, this is blue over here. So what you can also do in terms of picking color is, let's say you have a design. So let me bring in today's design. I go to file. When you want to bring in an image, also remember when you want to bring anything into Photoshop, you go to file, then you go to place embedded. So when you go to place embedded, it will open your file explorer. It's just like your file folder. And then when it opens the file folder, then you click on the image you want to select. So for instance, I click on this image, then I go to, so when you click on the image, when you look over here, you realize that you see something called place. Then you click on the place, then it will load. So you can see that my mouse is currently loading. So this is it. So let's say I'm working on a design, but I don't know the color that I want to use, and I want to pick a color. So I just click inside the foreground color. Then I select any portion. So you see that, look at my mouse, look at where my mouse is. My mouse is on the image. So when I hover the mouse over here, it changes the color over here for me. So when I go to the PS file, which is currently blue, to change it for me, then I can then click on OK. So when I click on OK, it shows over here for me. So that is one way to pick a color in Photoshop. So for instance, you realize that my image, so when you want to zoom in into Photoshop and you are using the mouse, you use the scroll up to zoom in, you use the scroll down to zoom in, or you can go and use the zoom tool, which is over here. So it's easy. Some of you realize that your tool is straight and some of your own is double. So when you come over here, you can see that my mouse has changed to the hand. You can zoom in to watch it very well. So when I do it like this, it becomes straight. When I do it like this, it makes it double for me. Okay, so that is how to also arrange your tool. So I was talking about the zoom tool. So you can use the scroll in and the scroll up to zoom in, and then the scroll down to zoom out. Please, do you understand? Yes. And then you can also use the zoom tool. So you can just hover over the zoom. It is Z, the key is there. So you can click on Z, then you can click and then you zoom in. You can click and then you zoom in. And then you can click at the top here to zoom out. Great. So that is how to zoom in to work. So for instance, you need this color. So you can zoom in this color. So when you zoom in this color, then you click on the color, foreground color, then you click on the image. So this is the image. So now I want this image color. So I want this brown, this light brownish color over here. So when I click on this, I get the color. So that is one way to also select color. Okay, so now let me go back to my workspace. So the next thing I'm going to teach you is that how to create a color in your bag. So for instance, when you look at this flyer, you realize that the background color is green. So when, let's say I want to do green, I can just go to the color picker, click on the color picker, then click on this green, and then I press OK. Then now let me off the eye. If you want it to disappear, you off the eye, the toggle eye of it. It means that you don't want it to be visible. You don't want that layer to be visible. Okay, so there is one thing you guys can realize, that my workspace is arranged in a different form. I did it myself. If you want to know how to arrange the workspace, I will do a video and then post it in the group tomorrow for you guys to be able to arrange the workspace so that you don't have plenty things. The reason I did it like this is that I design flyers a lot, so I like to work with layers and then the tools. Yes, please. Okay, so to create a color, when you pick the color, then you go down here. Please, can you see? You see something like FS. You see something like layer marks. You see something like create new fill or adjustment layer. You see something like create group. You see something like create layer 2. You see something like delete layer. So when I click on the create fill or adjustment, so in Photoshop, we declare um so you realize that, okay, so let me put it like this. I want to put it in normal terms. When you go to Word and then you create a shape, they'll ask you shape fill. So we create a shape fill. Please, are you following? If you are following, kindly give me a thumbs up. Okay, great. Jessica, Tete, I see you. All right, that is great. All right, great, great. So, okay, so let's move on. So then I go to the create fill. I click on the create fill. Then it will give me an option. It will give me solid color. It will give me gradient. It will give me pattern. It will give me brightness. It will give me levels. It will give me scale. But right now, because we are working with color, we are going to work with solid color and then gradient. So what it basically means is that solid color is that you are going to fill the whole space with one solid color. You are not going to mix it. So if I click on the solid color, automatically it picks the color at the foreground. So now it also gives me this panel, the color picker panel. Then now I can work around it. So you realize that anytime I change it, it changes. Anytime I change it, changes. Anytime I change it, it changes. So depending on what you want to do. So let me pick this deep yellow. Okay, and also with colors in Photoshop, every color, oh no, it's not only in Photoshop, color theory, in any color theory, every color has a color code. So you can write it down in color, in colors, whether primary color, whether secondary color, whether any type of color, it has a code. So for instance, when I select white, I can just use my mouse to select the white. White is FFFFFF 6 times. And black is also, I think black is 00000. Black is 0000. So depending on what you want to do. So for instance, you don't know the color for the color code for pink, but you came here and then you're not really getting the pink that you need. So let's say you go to Google. When you go to Google, you come here, then you say, okay, I color code for hot pink. Then you click enter. Then to give you the color code for hot pink. Please, I hope you understand. If you understand, then you give me a thumbs up. So this is the color code hash. Just a minute. This is the color code hash FF69B4. So in case I want this one, I just copy this. Right click, copy, come to Photoshop, come to this side where the hash is. Then I click Control V, then it gives me hot pink. Please, I hope you are following. All right, somebody also posted that if you want color codes, you can go to yes. So there are many tools that you can use for color code. So I normally use color hands. So I just go to Google color hands. Then I hands for color. So it gives me this site. I go to color hands. I click on it. It gives me a website. So you see, it has given me different types of colors that I need. So let's say I need purple. Then I click on enter. When I click on enter, it gives me different kinds of stuff. So you see that when I hover my mouse over it, let me zoom out a bit. So what I'm doing is just zoom in and zoom out. So when I hover my mouse over it, it give me the color code. Then I click on the color code, and it says what's copied. Then I come to Photoshop. Then I go here. I click. I have my purple. Please, I hope you are following. Give me a thumbs up if you are following. Okay, great. So the next thing that we are going to do is that we are going to do something we call gradient. So gradient basically means you are going to mix two or more colors together, just like how we have secondary colors. So we are going to mix two or more colors together. So for you to do the gradient effect, you go to create the down here, create new fill or adjustment layer. You click on it. When you click on it, you go to gradient. Then the gradient gives you how do I say it? A linear gradient. So linear means it's in a linear form. So then it gives you a panel. So this is the panel. Let me increase the okay. I think I can't increase the size of the panel. Yes, it gives me this is just it. So it gives me a panel. Then I click on the inside of this. Then it gives me a gradient editor. This is a little bit complex, so I'll just brush through so that you can just do it once you are home. Then I click it over here. Then it gives me a basic color. So what it does is that it has picked the colors from the foreground color, the first one and then the back one. So I can click over here. When you are using Photoshop, you can follow me. So I can use, okay, light green, and then I can use, let's say, blue. I can use these colors. Then let's say in the middle, I can say I want to use red. So this is how to create gradients. So the gradient, so this one is, so you can decide to use the angle to change the angle. Or angle means you want to change the angle. So it's at 180 degrees. So it's at 100 and negative 146 degrees. So right now I want to make it 0. I want to make it 90. So it changes for me. I can also say, okay, I want to reverse the colors. I reverse. I can also say, okay, I want to scale it up. So scaling it up makes it a little bit mixed together. So that's how to create a gradient color basically in Photoshop. Please, now I would like to know whether you guys are understanding. If you have any question, let me open the mic so that if you have any question, you just say so that we go on. Please, you can speak. I've turned on your mic. If you have any questions, so we can move on. Okay, so I'm going to go over the gradients again. So let me share my screen. So I'm going right now. I'm going to share the entire screen. Okay. So now I go to Photoshop. Okay, great. So this is my work. So I want to show you a type of work that I did with the gradients. And just let me open my file explorer. MCI. Okay. Okay. So let me place it inside. You can either place embedded or you click and drag. So have you guys seen this flyer? So this is a flyer I made for my church. So you realize that I have deep red, I have light red, and then I have orange in it. You realize? So that is what, so I'm going to teach you how to make the gradient. Okay, so let me toggle off this. So you go to create fill and adjustment. Then you click on it. Then on top is the solid color, the one we learned. The solid color just gives it solid. So we go to create fill, we go to gradient. Okay, so now when you immediately you take gradient, it picks the color in the foreground color automatically. So you realize that my background color is already white. So right now we want to make sure all the color fills. So currently the software has given us the gradient in a form of linear. So that means that when you click on it, you are trying to see, when you click on the, you need to click on the, please, can you see this side of it? Can you see where my mouse is? Just give me a hand. Okay, so this mouse, this way you are going to edit it for the colors. So you need to click on it. So if you realize that one side is green and then the other side there is no color there. This to my right hand side, there is no color there, but this color is green. So that means that Photoshop is saying that, okay, I'm just giving you one side of the work green. So now when you put your mouse over there, when you zoom in, it will tell you that what, create, let me just put my mouse there. It will tell you that create to edit the, click to edit the gradient. Then you click on it. When you click on it, it gives you the gradient editor. So now you are come to do the gradient yourself. So you are come to do it by default. I hope you understand. Great. Then now, when you go to basics, the basics says, so, okay, I want you to pick two colors, the two colors for me. Then you pick the two colors. This one is also saying that no, I want you to just pick one color and then leave the background color. So now you need to pick the two colors. When you pick the two colors, you come down here, this side. Please, you can zoom in your screen to be able to see it very well. So when you come to this side, you click down here. When you click on it, it says color stop. Then now you come to the color. When you come to the color, then now you come and select any color for it. So you realize that my color is changing. So I click it. And then you come to the right hand side too. It says what color stop. So you want the color to stop over here. Then I choose this color for it. Then the next one is okay, probably I just want three colors. I want two gradient, two colors to mix in it. So you can leave it like this. If you want three colors, you can just click on any portion of it. It will create a color stop. What it means is that you are creating a point at which a color will be shown in your work. Please, do you understand? If you understand, just give me a thumbs up. Okay, man, no, you get it. Okay, Jessica, you also get it. Okay, great. Mr. Sulan, you also get it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I'm listening. So kindly take a picture and then put it in a group. Sellers will sort you out over there. Right now, you can do it right now. He will just explain it quickly over there for you. Yes. So please, I hope you guys understand to this point. Collins, I hope you understand to this point. You don't have you get it. He will show I'll show you how to get it very soon. So you said yes, yeah, take a picture and then send it into the group right now. Silas will help you over there. All right, sure. So okay, so I hope you guys are cool with it now. Okay, wise man. Please you can unmute and then just talk. All right, great, great. That's good. Okay, so that is the two ways you can create color in Adobe Photoshop. Please you understand this is the basics. So we are learning the basics for now. Okay, so the next thing that we are going to do is inserting image and then shape manipulation. Please, are you following? We need to run a little bit faster so that we can be able to understand what we are doing. Okay, so there are two ways for you to put in images into your workspace. Like I said earlier, you go to file, you go to place embedded, then you look for your image you want to place in. So me, for instance, I will go over here and then let me look for my picture and I click on my picture. So let me click on this place embedded. So this is one of the ways you can put in an image. So you place it. So I think my machine is beginning to run slow again, but God is our helper. Okay, then you place in the image. Then this is the image inside your work. Please, I hope you get it. And then the next one that you can do is that please I can't hear anything. Young, they say you are using a companion mode. Please check whether you are using a companion mode so that you can unmute yourself. Okay. 2025. Yeah, 2025. Okay, so this is one way for you to create create a shape. Um Put in an image, or you can drag and drop like I said earlier. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to teach you is that how to insert an image into a shape. So like yesterday we were saying, You draw the shape, you go to the shape tool, you click, you drag. Okay, so the assignment that you guys submitted, some of you were making mistakes in terms of drawing the shape. So some of you did it like this. You just click and then you drag. So let's say the triangle. So you people were just, some of you were just clicking and you just drag just like this. Please no, you can't do that in Photoshop. It makes your work a lazy work. So what you need to do is that you need to hold shift. You need to hold shift whilst dragging. So when you hold shift and you drag, it gives you a perfect shape. Please, I hope you get it. So all those who did the assignment like that, I told you guys to, to go and redo it and then submit it. So that is how to draw shape. So right now we are going to insert an image into a shape. So for instance, I go to the rectangle tool, I right click on it. Please kindly note, if you don't get anything, just draw our attention. We'll help you. Myself, Silas, and then Jeff will help you get it. We are here to help everybody to understand. We are not here to rush anything. Nobody is here to take anything from you. No, we are here to let everybody get a skill at least. Yes, so that we can also grow together. We can also help ourselves. So if you don't get anything, you can just let me know. My name is Simon Kojodogbe. I think most of you know my name. So you can just let me know. You can just let Silas know. I'll be posting Silas' picture in the page so that when he messages you or you want help, you can just quickly help you. So let's continue. Okay, so I click, I hold shift, and then I click and then I drag. So let me hold shift. I wasn't holding shift, I was holding the caps lock. So I hold shift, then I drag. Okay, so this is the image. All right, sure. So right now, let's say you want the shape is too big. You want to reduce the size of the shape. You go to property window, then now you reduce the size of the shape by just reducing it like this one. You can just work around it and then make it a little bit nicer. Okay, so right now we've drawn our shape. Now we want to put in the image inside the shape. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to bring in the image. So make sure that the image is on top of the layer, the rectangle layer. So this is it. Make sure that it's on top of it. Please, are you following? Okay, great. I can see that you are following. So then you make sure that your picture is on top of the shape. Then now, what you are going to do is that you can decide to resize the image first. So undo. So you can decide to resize the image to just be on the direct top of it. I think I will not use this image. I'm coming. Let me bring in a more my normal image. So you go to place embedded feed. My picture, you place it inside. It loads. Then now I'm going to resize it. Yes, so I'm going to resize it to be like this. As for this my picture there, you can decide to use it for your DP. It will also help me. Okay, so then when you put the picture on the shape image, then you right click. When you right click, then you go down here, then you go to something we call create clipping marks. Please, can you see? So you go to create clipping marks. This is create clipping marks. Please, can you see? Please, you can give me a thumbs up. Okay, great. Then you say you click on it. So when you do that, then it creates a what? It puts the image inside the shape. So I can go back to the image, then I can go to properties, then I can go to stroke. What it means is that okay, I am adding a stroke effect. What does stroke means? Stroke in word, stroke means you are adding another effect to the shape. So I can decide to give it a green effect. Then I'll say okay, increase for me. Please, I hope you get it. So for instance, you want to put an image in a circle. So you right click, you go to ellipse tool, you hold shift, you click and then you drag. Then you bring the image on top. You bring the image on top of the circle. Then you right click, you say create clipping mask. It puts it, then you align it well. Then now you can add a stroke effect to it. So then I change the outline. Please, I hope you understand it to this point. Please, I hope you understand to this point. Let me go over again. Okay, sure. Okay, so what I meant was that, so for this class, we are going to insert an image into a shape. So we go to the shape tool, which is hue. You right click. If it is circle, if it is rectangle, if it is triangle, you can decide to do it. Then you click on the workspace. You select the circle, you click on the workspace, then you hold shift, then you drag to get a perfect circle. Then you go to file, you go to place embedded. You are bringing a picture in now. I showed you guys how to bring in a picture. The reason I don't want to be going to place embedded, and be bringing it is because of how the machine is deciding to behave. Then you click on the image. Then you come down here. It says place. Then you place. Then it will load a bit. Then it will load a bit. Then you right click. Then you create clipping marks. Then after creating clipping marks, you go to Vim. Okay, so this is what you need to know. So after putting in the image, please, are you following? After putting in the image, you right click on the image, and then you go down, you look for create clipping marks. So somebody can type it in the section, create clipping marks. Then you create it, so automatically the image then embeds itself, or let me use normal language, it enters into the shape. Then now, since the head is not showing, you just click on the image using the move to Vim. Then you bring it down. Then now you go back to circle. You come to the properties window. This is the properties window. If you can't see the properties window, go to window and then look for properties and then click on properties. And then this is properties. If in case, okay, I'll not say this one because it will be a little bit confusing. So then I go to the properties window. You see fill and then you see stroke. You can click on the stroke and then you click on any color you want, green. Then you can increase the size. So when you click here, it gives you the color. Okay, I think somebody is talking, so I need to mute all of you now. So when you click on the stroke, it gives you the recent color used. So I'm going to click on red. Then now I'll come back to this. When you want to increase the size, you click on a drop down menu here. If you're having Photoshop, you can just follow as I'm doing it. You click on the drop down menu here. Then now you increase or you decrease. So you can even increase it to be like this, or you can make it anyhow you want to. Please, I hope you understand now. Okay, let me unmute you guys. Please, I hope you understand up to this point. Okay, great. So we are going right into today's um um project, the flyer project. So let me stop recording. Stop sharing. Okay. So in today's class, we are supposed to do a flyer design. Just a minute. Please, just a minute. Kindly hold on. Um. Okay. Okay, please. Can you hear me now? Okay, great. So I'm going to share my screen now. So window. Okay, let me share entire screen. Okay, so this is my screen. Okay, so in today's project, we are supposed to do this. So I go to place embedded. Okay, you can ask me. Okay, so if you want to move the shape and then a picture in it, you see you hold control. You click on yes, you click on control. Look at my layer side. Look at where my layers is. Then you click on the shape layer, still holding control. Then you click on the image layer, so it holds the two of them together. Then now you can move it around. Please, do you understand? That's a brilliant question. All right, so that's so you hold control and then you do it. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so this is the project we are supposed to do today. Okay, so project one. This is the project we are supposed to do today. Should we go on with this, or it's too complicated? Okay, all right, sure. It's because now we know most of the things, so I think we are going to move on with this. But the videos will be available. So this is actually the project. So with this project, um, tomorrow we will not be having a class because of this. Why am I saying this? So that you can be able to work on this. Please, marks will be awarded for you being able to design this. So please kindly pay attention and then flow. We'll be posting the video alone of the assignments in the group. So let's move along. So now, what I'm going to do next, so I'll not save this. I go to file, I go to new, I use my default 10 by 10, 300 resolution. This is a social media flyer. So now what we are going to do first, as a designer, let me give you this tip. Don't don't use plenty colors in your design. Use two colors. Why? If you look at Yango use only red and blue. If you look at Glovo uses green. Hey, Yango uses red and white. Glovo uses green and white. Uber uses black and white. Both uses green and white. For instance, when you look at all my designs I do, I don't really mix the colors. I use two colors in all. So yesterday, for instance, a company asked me to design a flyer for them. I was trying to design it, and I realized that no, I'm new to the company, and they have asked me to just do something simple. And then I was like, okay, so why don't I just use the company colors? Charlie, I can't worry myself. So and I use the company colors, only two colors, and then they really like the design. So I mean, it's a tip I'm giving you guys. Don't ever use a lot of colors for design. No, 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 no. It doesn't matter. Just use two and be okay. Okay, so now what we are going to do is that this is the design. We are going to bring in the lady. So what we are going to do is that with our design, with our work, our sheet or our paper created, I normally call it with our workspace ready. I go to file, I go to place embedded, and then I go to images. Then I click on the image. Then I place embedded. It loads and then it inserts the image. Then now you realize that the image is at the top. So I'm going to bring the image at the top like this. Okay, great. But you realize that the steering wheel is closer to this side. So I'm going to increase it. So with my move tool selected, I just increase it like this. Then I click on it. Please, are you following? Okay. All right. Then now, this over here, we are going to put in the green color. So the green color is a gradient, but it's a linear gradient. Please put it in your head. It's a linear gradient. So I go to create fill and adjustment like I showed you earlier in the class. Go to create fill and adjustment. I go to gradient. Okay, so wait. I need to pick the color first. So I go to the work. I go to color foreground like I was teaching earlier. Then I pick the bold color. So I can pick it from the logo. Okay, so I pick the color. So when you look here, you realize that my color has changed. Then I come to the my work. I go to create fill and adjustment. I go to gradient. Boom. Then I get this. Please, do you understand? Okay, but please, can you look at something? You realize that you can see the image that we placed in the lady's image. You can see the line here. Please, can you see that? Okay. So now we are going to make sure that we don't see the line. So now you can off your mics. Okay. So now we are going to make sure that we don't see the line. So look at me. Look at where my mouse is. You can zoom in to actually see it very well. I'm going to click on any side of this space. Then when I click, I drag it to the top. So look at what happens. It sends the color to the top. Please, can you see that? So now you realize that the line is no more there. Please, can you see? You can unmute and then talk to me. Aha. Then now you realize that okay, so you can't see the line over there. Then I click on OK. So when I click on OK, I have the lady's image just like I want it. But right now you realize that some of the color has filled the image. Please, can you see it? Great. Some of the color has filled the image. So what I am going to do is that I'll go when you create anytime you create a gradient, you get a layer max thumbnail. What does layer max do? Layer max basically means that okay, I have an image or I have an object in Photoshop that I am working on. Please listen to it very attentively. And then I am saying that okay, no, I want to work on the object or I want to edit on the object or the image, but I don't want to touch the image. Why? So that I can go back and have my image just like how I placed it. So automatically it creates a layer mask. Please, are you following? So for instance, I am going to teach you something which is not part of this work. So for instance, I want the lady this side. You will not see this side of um the how do I put it? Is it border? Yes, let me see border. I don't see this side of the border. So I go down here to this tool, to this yes, let me say tool in Photoshop. Then it says when I hover the mouse by, please look down look down to where my clock is. It says what? Add layer marks. Then I add layer marks to it. So on the image, then I go to, so immediately I add layer marks to it. I am saying that, okay, I'm come to work on the image. Plus, please don't change the image. Don't edit the image itself, but make a editing on it. Then now, automatically, when I create the tab, the layer marks, it changes the foreground color for me. So look at something. Let me undo what I just did. So you realize that the color is green. Now when I click on the layer marks, it changes this color. What does it mean? It means that, okay, now you come to work on the image, but you don't want to change the image. So I want the lady's image to blur in with the background color, which is the white. So I go to the brush tool, which is B, with my black selected. And then, so anytime you click the brush tool and then it gives you a plus, please click on caps lock. It will give you the circle brush tool. Then I'm going to say that, okay, I want this side of the edge shouldn't be seen. So I will be clicking on it and then I will be what? I'll be changing its effects. So this is what I'm doing. I'm just showing you something just in Photoshop, what we normally do, so that you can't see the edge. Please, can you see that now? You can't see the edge. Please, can you see it? Okay, great. So that is what layer marks do. So now look at something. Let me put off the layer marks. Disable layer marks. You realize that my image is back, but I have not distorted the image. It's just like, let me say I am going to clean the image. When I clean the image, I can't get the full image back. But when I use the layer marks, I can disable it, I can enable it, I can disable it, I can enable it. Please, do you understand? Okay, so let's go back to what we were doing. So this was our gradient. So now what we are going to do is that, like I was saying, the solid color the gradient automatically creates a layer mask, which is over here. Please, when I hover my mouse by it, you see layer mask thumbnail. Please, this is going to be an easy one, don't worry. I just want to explain so that when I post the video and you start to watch, you start to understand one by one. I'm not going to post this whole video. This whole video will be on YouTube, but the main assignment will be on the page for us to follow. Please, I hope you understand. Okay, great. So I'm going to click on the layer marks of the gradient. Then now I go to brush. So look at something. When I click on brush, okay, let me use a brush. When I click on brush, look at something. The black color is selected. Please, can you see that the lady's face is coming out now? Please, can you see it? So I can decide to increase the size of the brush. Yesterday, I taught you guys how to increase the size of the brush. So I go up here, I click on it, then I increase the brush size. So this is it. And I can be able to clean. And I make sure that my opacity is at 36. Why? If I do the opacity 100, when I clean, it will clean everything. But when I do it small, 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 I can get a perfect angle of the image I want to clean. So you realize that now I have cleaned the image. I've made the image brighter. Please, can you see? So you realize that when you come to the layer side, so bring, let me go back to my move tool. So anytime you select an image and then you want to go out of the image, just click on the move tool. Just click on V on your keyboard. V, the letter V. Yes. So I've clicked on V, but it seems my laptop is. So it has. Please look here. You realize that the up here where the layer marks is, up there has become what? Dark. So when I off it, when I right click on it and then I disable it, you realize that the green has come on the lady. So I want to bring it back. So enable. Okay, that's nice. So I hope you guys are following up to this point. Okay, great. Somebody asked a question. Please, you said I should go over. or we are getting. Okay, don't worry. The video will be posted on the page, so you don't have a problem at all. Okay, right now what we are going to do next is we are going to bring in this fight down here. The fight down here. We are going to bring it. So this is just a rectangle tool. So I go to the shape tool, which is U. I right click and I select the rectangle tool. I go to the fill up here. Please, can you see the fill? You can just give me a thumbs up. I go to the fill up here, like I was saying, any shape. Before you can give any color to any shape, you need to have a fill. Then I click on it. Then now I need a white color, but my recent color don't show me white. So I click on the select color over here. Then I click on white. Then I get a white here. So now I click over here. Then I click and drag. Please, are you following? Okay, awesome. That's great. Now what we are going to do next is we are going to do this shape too. This is a shape. So please kindly pay attention. Kindly pay very good attention to this. So what I am going to do is I'm going to draw the shape too again. Make sure that use this tip. Anytime you draw a shape and you're about to draw a shape, don't hold the shape first. But immediately you start drawing the shape, then you now hold the shape. So now I'm going to draw the circle. So this gives me a white. Okay, now this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a copy of the circle now to be able. So this is the circle that I just draw. This side of the circle. Now I want this. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to make a copy of the circle again. So to make a copy in Photoshop, we say what? Control plus J. You hold Control and then you hold J. Then it gives you another copy. Or what you can do is that let me undo this. You right click and then you go duplicate layer. Then it will duplicate first. So it will say what do you want to do? You want to make the ellipse one copy. Then you say yes. There you go. That's a plus J, the letter J. Not J. On screen keyboard. Okay. So you use the control plus Z. Wow, anytime I want to bring a software, my machine runs slow. It's not easy. Okay, so now I've duplicated it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to increase the size of the one that I've duplicated. So I'm going to increase it. I'm just going to hold the side of it, then I increase it like this. So when you increase it, great. Now we are going to learn about alignment. Okay. So what I'm going to do is that I will hold, no, first, after I increase the copied layer shape, I go to properties. When I go to properties, I'm going to off the fill. Are you listening? I'm going to off the fill and then I'm going to on the stroke. So I go to fill. When you come here, you realize that it says that you want to cancel the color. So it says no color. Please, can you see? Give me a thumbs up. Great. Then I click on it. Then the fill is missing. Then I come to the stroke. I click on the stroke. I click on the color over here. Then I click on the line over here. So when I click, it will automatically give you this. Then I increase the size of the stroke. This I thought when I was creating a shape. So this is it. Then I make the stroke size 78. All right. So now I am going to align it so that it will be like this. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to hold Control. Then I hold the first layer. Then I hold the second copied circle. Then I come up here. Please look up there at where the auto select show transform. So the first one is what? Left align. Then the second one is what? Align horizontal centers. Then the right one is what? Align right edges. And the next one is align top edges, align vertical centers, and then align bottom. So I'm going to choose align horizontal centers. Then it will be in the horizontal font. Then I'm coming to do align vertical centers, and it will be in vertical. Please, do you get it up to this point? Give me a thumbs up. Don't worry, I'll post the video, but I just want you guys to have a view of it. Then now you realize that yeah, it is at the side, it's not in the middle. So I am going to bring it down here like this. Easy. Please, I hope you understand up to this point. Wow, it's getting intensive. Okay, so people are leaving. All right, no problem. So we are going to bring now. What we are going to do is that we are going to bring in the logo. But I realize that we have a ruler over here. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to send the ruler to this side, and then I'm going to bring this ruler to where the rectangle is. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is that I'll go to file, I'll go to place embedded, then I select the logo. So this is the logo. Then I place embedded. Then I decrease it. Then I bring it up here. Then I align it very well. Let me decrease it a bit again. Yes, great. Please, are you getting it up to this point? You can give me a thumbs up. Wow, people are leaving. We'll get there, don't worry. It's not easy. So what we are going to do next is we are going to write make it urban ride easier, quicker, and more reliable. All right, great. So I go to my text tool. I look for a text called the Montserrat font. So I go here, I tap Monts. You can just type one side of the word and then it will just come. So my machine is running a little bit slow, but I have typed it, so it should come. Okay, then I'm going for the bold, Montserrat bold, and I click on it. Then now I come to the color, I change the color to white so that when I come, I don't need to come and be changing. Then I click on this side, then I say what? Making, let me reduce the size. So I'll go to Control plus A, which is select all. Then what does it say? It's making urban ride easier and more quicker and more reliable. Making urban rides easier and more quicker and more reliable. Easier, quicker, and more reliable. Okay, awesome. Please, now I want you guys to unmute and then tell me what problem do I have with my phone. Okay, Asari, you can talk. Embedded together. Okay, great. So who else? Who else have anything to say? Okay. So it has embedded together. Okay, I think okay, great. You unmute. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is that one, I'm going to the property side. Then I am going to increase the spacing, just like we have in Word. You increase the spacing. Then I'm going to increase the spacing. So I have normally what I used to do is that if the size is 66, I come here and come and do the spacing also 66. Now click on enter. So now look at something. When you come to this side, you realize that it is what? It is center test. But when you look at this side, it is in the left centered. So now I come and put it on left centered. So it's on left centered. Then I bring it to my where my ruler is. Then I decrease the size now a bit. Then I am going to decrease. So let me make the yes, making urban rides easier, quicker, and more reliable. So let me also increase this, and then I'll do this one. Okay, the bold is okay. The bold is okay. Then I'm going to bring the circles down a bit. Okay, now it's getting tension, so people are leaving. It's not easy to be fine. We'll get there. Okay, so now I bring it down. Then now what I'm going to do next is I'm going to bring in a ride with bold. Please, are you following? You can give me a thumbs up. I want us to just finish before I answer questions. So now the font that I used was photography font for the ride with bold. So you can download it online. I'll make it available to you in the group too. So I click, then I go here, I select photography, then I select photography. Then I'm going to use the color black because it's in black color. Then I use the color black. Then I'm going to say ride with boat. Then I'm going to okay, so now that I am out of it, I'll decrease the font a bit. Yes, I think this is okay. So ride with boat. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to bring in what? Download app now. So what I did was that I drew another shape, the rectangle shape, a small one, just here, like this. And after drawing it, and then I went to test, and then I look for Montserrat. Then I look for Montserrat semi-bold. So like I was saying yesterday, a font has a family. We have the siblings, we have the children, we have yes, that's what it means. So I click on anywhere, I change the color. Okay, so the color is already on black. Then I bring it to this side like this. Then I see download app now. Then now I decrease the font. Okay, great. So download app now. Let me do the app small letters. Okay, great. So now what I'm going to bring in now is I'm going to bring in download app on Google Play Store, download on the App Store. Okay, so I go to file, go to place embedded, click on this, I bring it inside. So with this is together, so we need to cut both from it. So I go to the rectangular marquee tool like I was showing yesterday. I click, I drag, and then I do what? Control J. So when I do Control J, it takes the download on app out. Then I off the visibility of the first one. Then I decrease the size of the download on App Store. Then I bring it down here. And then now I open, I on the visibility of the layer that I play. I go to the rectangular marquee tool. I click and then I drag to just select the Android app on app. Then on Google Play, then I go to Control J, Control plus J, then I off the layer visibility again, then I reduce. Okay, I'm sorry, I have a call. I reduce the. I'm coming. Kindly hold on. Let me pick this call. Hello, Bishop. Hello, Bishop. Hello, Bishop. Hello, Bishop. Please said. Hello, Bishop. Hello, Bishop. Okay, Bishop. Okay, so let's quickly wrap. Okay, so okay, let me lower my mind. So let's quickly wrap up. Okay, so then now I bring this one to down here. Okay, so basically this is what we did just here. It will change a bit, but it doesn't matter. So far as it's a design, why not? This also looks very great, so you can just align it. You don't need to make this. You don't. It's not really when you are designing. It's the same thing, but there's definitely going to be a few changes which will actually show that you actually did it yourself. So this is the design for today. I don't know if anyone has any question. Please, you can now talk. I'll post it right after the class. Yes, please. I'll post it right after the class. Yes, sir. I'll post it right after the class. I'm about even posting it. Okay, so yesterday we spoke about the PA engine. So when you want to save this and then you submit, so that means you didn't do yesterday's assignment, or this is the first day you are joining. Okay, all right. So when you want to save a work, so after you finish everything, first you need to save it in the Photoshop document. You need to save it in the Photoshop doc. Yes, sir. Okay, all right, great, great. That's great. So we have two forms of images, like I said. We have the JPEG image, which already have a background, and then we have PNG, which doesn't have a background. So, for instance, you want to put in an image. Let me just share my screen. Okay, entire screen. Please, I hope you can see my screen now. So let's say you want to put in a location image. Okay, I'm coming. So you go to file, you go to place embedded. Then you go to download. When you can come to download, let's say I need a Facebook, okay, Twitter. This is a Twitter icon I downloaded today. Place embedded. Then I place. So this one means that it doesn't have a background. So this image doesn't have a background. I hope you understand. So when you want to download these images, you can go to Google. There are many sites you can use. So first, what I normally like using is PEngine Wink. So then I click on enter. Then it shows this site for me. So this is a PEngine file. Then I just go, okay, I need a location icon. Then I click on OK. Then it gives me a couple of location icon without a background. Please, do you understand? So let's say you need WhatsApp, and click on OK. Or you can use Clean PEngine. There are so many sites you can explore on your own. Clean PNG also gives you, so if you want to download, let's say I want to download this WhatsApp icon, or yes, I click on it, WhatsApp, the PNG wink. So this is the PNG wink. You can also download Instagram. Then I just click on download PNG, and it just gives me a way to download. Then it comes into my, it will tell me, it will either tell me to authenticate. So it will tell you to click on some alphabets to see whether you are a human being. So it will load 3LNW. Then it will go there. So this is it. So the WhatsApp image I downloaded, a PNG form. Let me open it. Wow.